Hello, guys. This is Jay. I'm going to be reviewing the Max 6 Overpower set. I'm here with my co-host Belle.
Hi, guys.
I'm going to do also like a little overview of the sets in general. This is the one special card from the real sets you get in booster packs. This is a pile of fan sets and fan promos, I guess you would call them.
Because they don't make
new cards. They haven't made new cards in officially 20 years almost. And these are promos from like regular trading cards, mail away tournament stuff. If you joined like the fan club at the time, some comic books promos, convention promos, these two. So, gonna first review this. I have this pack. This is unopened. I'm gonna give this away to someone, not through YouTube. But just someone I know.
Some stranger on the street.
Someone I know. That's for them. He also goes by Jay.
He also goes by
Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. His name is my name too. So in this pack you get 36 cards. It's like the staples stuff. Here's like a quick overview of them. The back has the Fantastic Four. You know them, right? Bad movies, lame movies.
Yes.
It's like they're battling Galactus, or about to, and the Silver Surfer's making a little cameo up there in the corner. So these are linen, so you can see like called linen. They have like that poker card coat.
I could see that. Looks
So
like tiny grid.
Yeah, very tiny. So it's like better for shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
Overpower's had that card. Most of the sets have a linen finish,
right?
And it makes them look really nice and durable. So in the set, I kind of mixed it up. Here are some reprints. This is any character cards that are kind of uncommon. You probably only get them from like being promo cards in comic books. So these are some cool reprints. These are some new locations. They're for any team, stuff like that. You know, stuff that this is never made before. I think no. This is a Beyonder. You only get this by like being like a fan club member like 20 years ago.
Right.
Look at that paragraph written as his inherent ability. And then I think he tried to get like community approval on what he was going to type here.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I said something about I said one thing he was missing and I forgot what I said. But yeah, there is a lot of text on that card. He can do a lot of things in this game.
Just
this one
like
card.
The rolling credits, like in Star Wars.
Yeah, might as well have it. There was actually like you needed to keep. I guess in tournaments you would have to have like the rules next to you because it's so complicated.
Right.
This is a really good card. Like the normal one you find in a booster pack of images is probably like $100.
Wow.
So this is cool. Like to get cards for the community. I feel like most of us in the community. I mean, I'm in Southern California. I don't play with a lot of people, but proxies are cool because it's a hard buy-in on this game. Like.
Plus, just my first initial opinion is that the art is actually better.
Oh yeah, some of them is really bad CG art, really bad coloring.
Just really like I don't know, not detailed.
Yeah,
manly faces on everyone.
Yeah, it's really bad. The square jawedness of some of the characters and the CG art.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think DC and Image, those three sets were JLA, DC, and Image were the three sets that had really good art. There was actually one Marvel set where they actually pulled panels from comic books.
Nice.
And like cropped them for the card. So this is another rare card proxy for Anax. Is like another $100 card. This is like these are great proxies for anyone to start playing, especially if you're going to play with friends or anything. You could probably just get one of these staple decks from Max 6 Overpower, $20, and you just have all the buy-in of all the nice staples that you would need to build at least one great deck.
Okay.
So that's really good. Really appreciate that. And of course these power cards. So these are like cards. You know they have the 4 types on the heroes. You would use these. So generally there's 4 colors. Generally there's 4 colors, and a character can use this 7 even if the 7 is not part of his like since it's not color specific, anybody on the team can use it as long as they have a 7.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's kind of like a colorless mana in the Magic sense.
Okay.
So it's like anybody can use it if you're going to pay a cost with it or use it to block. So yeah, it's pretty good. These are cool too. I think this is Exo Manowar. It's not a Marvel character, but it's really interesting to see him represented from, I think, Valiant comics, stuff like that. So they're all labeled 1 per deck, which is the real way they're supposed to be, which is cool. There was some fan sets who didn't label them 1 per deck, but that was because of the way he was trying to change the rules.
Oh, I see.
So that's cool that like these are easily explained as the 1 per deck cards. And over here, some other fan sets have done this too, where they have cards that I want to say they're kind of bending the rules on these cards. This is supposed to be a specific card that has a fighting icon, a 4 fighting, but they changed it to have one of the other types, so you could like swap it in whatever your deck needs.
Oh.
If it needs that, if it's really hard, your deck doesn't have a lot of intellect, you put this one instead of the other one. I like using these because it kind of like bends the rules a little too much. I don't know if the people in Buffalo and Canada play with them, but I don't with my friends when we play OverPower. The same thing with these. This is the Abomination, this one. So this is the real one. It's supposed to be green, the green icon. And you bend the rules a little bit. Maybe you need this icon a little more in this deck or whatever. But I feel like if you're going to build it
change the game a little too much.
Yeah, like if you're going to play like that, then, you know, the staples don't matter as much. And that's okay. Whoever play with whatever rules you want, but I like to play a little more rule specific tournament cards, you know. Same thing with these ones. It's supposed to be like a green A Next, which is like the really rare card from X-Men. So that's what you get in this pack for of 36 for it's like $20. Really appreciate the reprints. You know, I think a couple sets have done that before. The coding. Here's the last one. This is the actual red fighting icon, a character from, I think it was the Green Goblin one was in Mission Control. So here you can see like the coding is the poker coding. This is one from Power Balance. This was a really rare card too. The coding really similar on these two actually. Yeah, so this is Power Balance. His back is like that. He used the original back, which was really interesting. You know, he probably cropped it a little bit, but
that's good.
You could fall for it because like you see it. This is a real card. You see it like that. Like, the only thing he took off was the copyright.
It looks good. I mean, with there is some text here.
Yeah, the copyright line.
But yeah, I mean, I've seen a few OverPower cards in various condition, and sometimes the color is a little different per card. From what I've seen, so
yeah, he Max 6. He used really interesting art. A lot I've never seen. Like this is cool Superman art. I think that's like Jim Lee. Really interesting, different dynamic art. Stuff I've never seen. Like that's really cool for Devourer of Worlds because that's Galactus.
Right, yeah,
that's his only
sense.
appearance in the game besides his hero card. He only has 2 cards, and this is really cool to see. His whole body is huge. New universe for Superman. You know, so and you got Thanos there. That's what he looks like in the comics. I've seen this art a little bit before on one of the other fan sets. This one too. So he picked pretty unique art, very interesting art. When I made my Beyonder proxy, I used this art too. I really like this art. It's really happy. And yeah, very dynamic, interesting art. A lot of 34 out of 36 I've never seen before used on a fan set card. This is Legion. He was a previous tournament player. He gave away his sets, which was really nice. He did a lot of proxy stuff.
Nice.
Really rare cards. He just printed up for the community. His back is Thing versus Hulk. So that was cool. Yeah. This is, I think, is Chu, CHUU on the forums. I might be mistaken. That's what I remember it
I like
as.
the full art.
Yeah, this is like the generic power card for
Mhm.
your deck. It's kind of like a poker card, like this one. So he did the back. This is like his girls' power cards. He did those. So
Nice.
he's kind of like everybody there. Really like these. These are fun and cheap. You know, he miscut a handful of them, so he gave those away too. This is from Jack. I like answered a question, like a trivia question, or I caught a mistake. I don't remember, it was something like that, and he gave me this one. This is the Canadian Marvel set, and it's actually illegal, 0 per deck. You can't have this in your deck. Could you imagine?
Nice.
Like, this is like the highest basic hit with a wild card, so it's just silly. But their back is black, which is really cool because it's just like plain.
Yeah.
Probably a little cheaper to print, maybe. But yeah, the coding on most of the fan sets is really great. This is they did an OverPower anniversary collection from the Canadian guys in the tournament stuff in Canada, Buffalo in Canada, and this was like had a little like trivia and stuff. They didn't use any copyrighted art or even the faces of the people they mentioned, stuff like that. It was just like, I think it was a reprint of the image mission, so it was. They didn't change anything in the meta or the tournament scene. It's just proxies, basically. And this is also from the Marvels. These are fun because it was actually a play-tested set by like the people who play-tested the game, but before it got finalized, they actually got canceled. So all the card effects were released, and fans started making proxies and stuff and playing with them.
Interesting.
And then the Canadian guys and such, they took it upon themselves to print a set. So it was really interesting to have all new cards for all the heroes. And recently they did a set all new cards for the villains, which was playtested by the community instead of the playtesters of the game from 20 years ago. So this is from Canada,
Nice. Very
Buffalo.
interesting.
So now this is obviously a card from the first set. So there's no coding, very plain.
And Wolverine looks interesting.
Yeah, it looks like the cover to a cereal box or something. Like, like how much money are you going to put?
I think his leg is the same height as the rest.
Well, he is like 5'2" in the comics,
I
so
guess.
yeah.
I don't know. I
looks like
get
he's
a kick out of the OverPower bad art.
Yeah, it looks like he's wearing the boot to the other costume, the brown costume.
Looks like he made his mask into a boot.
Right. Yeah.
His old mask.
Yeah. Then this is where you get ugly Scarlet Witch. Sadly.
Just looks like Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. God. She has a mullet. It's bad. She's in a graveyard or something. I don't know. Yeah, those are from the second set. I don't know. What would you explain this like border as? Like a gradient?
I would call it like an ombre or something, or a gradient.
It looks like a toasted paper. Like gradient. Yeah. I guess something like that.
Yeah.
So this is coded. This is where they started the coding. You see that on almost every card after, every set after. This is from Mission Control. This is where they like introduced a lot of other characters. The last set where everyone had 3 grids. They didn't introduce intellect yet. There's like computer stuff, the Sentinels, but like it's pretty interesting. The art started to get a little better. It was still kind of like bad CG. This is from DC. They actually got comic artists to do the art, so you can see like the art workings is a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
It's not super great. I actually asked Jim Valiant if he remembers doing the Catwoman cards, and he said yeah. And I asked his wife, and they're like, oh yeah, that was a long time ago. He's like talking to me. I was like, next time I see him, I'm going to bring him to get signed. And I didn't go to Comic-Con this year, but next year I'm going to try to get them signed. Same thing with JLA. They did a little darker border, similar to the DC one, very similar. But I like. And then they reprinted the Anti-Heroes in DC back. The back to DC is blue. And this is IQ, where the Marvel characters got the intellect statistic on the hero cards. And I don't know what this border is supposed to be. It's like neurons, maybe that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
IQ set, like neurons or something.
I'm not sure. It just looks like gray shapes.
Yeah, it's just like
Hulk
wavy
thumbs.
lines. Okay. And this is monumental. This is like, it's a brick wall.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool. There's a little movement
The
there.
artistic license with the
Yeah.
movement of the bricks.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know, they always kept the half border on these cards. They, you know, made the specials like that. And a lot of the other cards, like allies and aspects, are like that. This is classic OverPower. It's like the burned border, I guess. You could kind of see like sizzled paper.
Bite out of a cheese.
Someone has a really square right angled mouth. Yeah. I like the legibility of these cards too. I really like that font they use.
Yeah, that's good. It's a cool card.
This is a set, actually. Yeah, the X-Men set. There's X's in the back. They cut them too big, so they're slightly enlarged. The back is the same, but they have no coat either.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, you can actually see slightly. See how much slightly bigger?
Mm-hmm.
So that. And this final card is from Image, of course, with Spawn. I really like the ripple effect of this border. It's pretty cool. Spawn became like one of the most powerful characters in the game last set, so it's really strong. This is an interesting card, actually. This is the only premium foil shiny card. Well, there's a set of them. There's like 6 or 8 of them.
Right.
These are available in Wildstorm versus Marvel packs. And see right there, Marvel versus Wildstorm right there. Yeah, there's 8 of them. And I think it was Wyona Earp. Her specials were in the image in here. So you needed to find her card here, then buy these packs to get her moves, her special moves. They're not easy to come by. I think I have one of like 4 she got. And a couple of them were like alternate. So like there's like an alternate Wolverine.
Okay.
This card you can use any Wolverine, Sabretooth, or Maverick as long as they're not like the ultimate cards for those characters. And all those characters have 8 fighting, but this has 7.
The holographic on that, it still looks really good.
Yeah, I take care of them, so I try. Yeah, yeah. So it's really cool to see these cards. You know, I pulled one of these from a pack, maybe not this exact card, but it's kind of like interesting, like actually opening a pack and getting something. That the one promos I don't have is the actual, like, if you ever seen like the foils where it's just like silver.
Mm-hmm.
There's Batman ones. I think Catwoman, Ra's al Ghul. Batman has a couple. Those I don't have. Those are like $100.
Okay.
This is I forget what the set of promos was called, but they gave some X-Men characters like a really good special, and then the Team OverPower location. And these are coded, but they look like these uncoated ones. Let's see.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then this is the uncoated 6 fighting promo. It says the character's name at the bottom, and it has the original back. And this is from the comic books.
I like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. Very close up. So this was like the chase card to like get people to buy comic books.
Right.
This is like from a convention. This is a really good card. It lets you basically mulligan, but not lose your betting. And this is the last card I'm going to show is Image. There's 2 of these versions. One was miscut too big, something like that. It was supposed to be in any character from what I've heard, so it was supposed to be available in any deck, but then they printed it as Spawn. It's a very interesting card. I don't see it used a lot. I don't see it mentioned a lot. But 1 per deck for Spawn. So that's it. Talk about OverPower, talk about those. Oh, and then the legibility. Last thing on these legibility. It's a little small, but I mean, you know what the cards are if you've been playing OverPower.
Most of the text is the same on each card, so
yeah,
you're going to know what it is.
Yeah, I think the size. Let's see the size on this normal basic card. It's like perfect. Like it's like a perfect replication of like the size of an OverPower card. Usually the border could have been a bit bigger, but that's pretty much it. If the border was bigger, the font could have been a little bigger.
The text looks a little bit smaller on the new card, but it's totally legible in person.
I mean, you'll be holding the cards up to you like really close when you're playing your hand. Oh, and then I think we mentioned it. It's like an atomic symbol, like in the art. That's like what the border is, like atoms.
Yeah, it's nice.
Probably see it on the green a little better.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Like
right here.
atom and sort of
yeah.
symbol.
Yeah. So that's pretty much to wrap up this video.
Well, thanks for sharing all these cards. Very interesting take.
Yeah. Okay. Well, have a nice night, guys.
Thank you. Bye.